Let's talk perks. I want to spend a little bit of time in the perk system so that you understand what's going on with this. First of all, you may have seen videos like this in the past, and I'm not sure about you, but I didn't quite understand it to begin with till I started using it. But let's talk a little bit about the layout first. So the category here is speed. And this is speed of your character and includes things like having your weapon ready quicker after sprinting, faster reloading, increased movement speed, unlimited sprint, moving faster while aiming. Those all have to do with the character. Handling all has to do with the weapons and the equipment. So this is faster ADS is what I would refer that to. Faster aiming can get very confusing with weapon is ready faster, but this is really faster ADS. Steady aim, increased hip fire accuracy. So that's handling of the equipment. So speed and handling of the equipment. Swap weapons and use equipment faster. So you can swap weapons and throw grenades, throw frags, stuff like that. On the go, reload while sprinting. That's kind of a cool one. The next one is stealth. So it all has to do with how your enemies cannot detect you. Off the grid is probably one you're going to want to use. Undetectable on the minimap by SATCOM. SATCOM's a new UAV, and SATCOMs are spammed like crazy. So that might be one. If that gets to you, then you might want to spend some points on that one. Dead silence, another good one. In fact, that's probably what I should do here. Blind eye, takedown. So this is where you can kill enemies and the skull does not appear on the mini-map or on their screen. Awareness is kind of the opposite of stealth. Stealth is where your enemies cannot detect you, and awareness is where you can detect them. So recon, same as before. Sit rep, same as before, except Sit Rep Pro is now its own perk called Amplify, where the footsteps are louder. That way the sound whoring can occur. The next one is resistance. Resistance damage falling. And this critical one here, flinch, reduce flinch. The next one is equipment, extra lethal, extra tacticals, full loadout, extra attachment on your weapons. It includes both primary and secondary weapons. And then this last category is just a miscellaneous. Gambler, which is you spawn with a random perk, or if you're using it in your specialist package, you will, when you earn it, you'll get a perk at that time, and just a random perk that hasn't already been chosen. Hardline. Ping, which is activate a sonar ping upon killing an enemy. So one time ping will pop out and go to the vicinity of your enemy to see if there are any others in the area. Overkill, carry 2 primary attachments, and the most expensive one, Deadeye, consecutive kills increase the chance to deal more damage with bullet weapons. I haven't used that yet. I will use it, let you know. The reason I haven't used it is because it says increase the chance to deal more damage, indicating that it may or may not. I'd rather have something that works or doesn't work, but I don't want to plan on something working and have it not work. But those are the categories. There's a point system, and 2 of the points that you're going to want to get right away are this dead silence and the focus. The dead silence because the sound whoring is real. The noises are loud. There's a lot of steps on wood and cement and hard dirt. I mean, everything. Except for sometimes the water doesn't make noise and sometimes the grass doesn't make as much noise. But other than that, your footsteps are very loud, especially compared to Black Ops 2. It's a lot like MW3. I think it might be a little bit louder than MW3, or it might just be the materials that are being walked on. I don't know if they intentionally did it, but it just sounds really loud. And it might just be because I was just playing Black Ops 2 where it's almost indetectable. And then the flinch. It is crazy the amount of flinch you get when you get hit if you don't have this focus on. You absolutely have to have this. You can get first bullets, but you only get about 1 bullet. I mean, if you get first bullets generally and you got focus on, you're going to win the battle. It's really that bad. There's not very often when you're going to turn on somebody, and if you do, it's just because they're either moving and their bullets went off of you, or they don't have good aim, or they don't know exactly where you're at and they're spraying. There's not a whole lot of times where you're going to turn on people. The deaths are very quick here, just like MW3. It's not like Black Ops or Black Ops 2, where you could do some of that turning on people and winning gun battles by making sure your aim's better than theirs. So focus and dead silence, absolute necessities. In addition, this one comes by default, and I'd pick that one up. If you have a hard time getting your kill streaks, Hardline's a good one. If you don't have a hard time, maybe pick up one of these other ones like Hipfire. Instead of the Marathon, a lot of times I'll go with the Agility. But if you don't want to go with Hardline, you could go with Agility and marathon. I don't know. There's not a whole lot that are real necessities for the general setup, but these two are definitely there. And if you don't use this weapons ready up, you're probably going to want to get something like the quick draw or the hip fire, and because it really has more to do with getting bullets on them first. You really want to make sure you get bullets on them first. You want to see them first, get bullets on them first. And so those two would be critical. But absolutely, no matter what, make these two your first two. And I think focus is probably the one I get first, only because there's going to be gun battles that don't, there's going to be loud environments where footsteps aren't as important, but your staying on target is. So that is a definite. Please do it. If you want to earn more, if you want to have more slots for perks, get rid of some of these. You can earn 4 extra spots or 4 extra points by losing the 2 weapons and the 2 tactical and lethal, and that gives you an opportunity to get something else. And maybe what you do is you're not a hardline person. Maybe you lose hardline, you get off the grid instead, and then maybe reload faster on the go, something like that. But if you do use those, it just takes an extra point away from the perk setup. So if you want to go all perks, you can get rid of your weapons and do something like a stabby guy. I call it a stabby guy. They're very annoying for me, but and if you do stabby guy, this is probably your best setup. Sleight of hand, no, I don't want sleight of hand, but you're going to want to get this agility, so you can move faster, unlimited sprinting. You're going to want dead silence and amplify, and probably the sit rep. And the stealth you're going to want to have so that the skulls don't show up when you kill somebody from behind, when you're hiding and stab somebody. And then maybe this gambler thing, just gamble on something. Who knows, or maybe resistance to falling, that we can jump around. Probably that's a good setup right there for stabby guy, I would say. But definitely if you're doing stabby guy, you want the speed and the unlimited sprint. You want the dead silence and the footsteps, and you are going to want the takedown so your skulls don't show up. Specialist, I mean, this is kind of crazy for stabby guy because you don't have any weapons, but you might want to pick one up, and if you do pick one up, I guess then you'd want some something like that in case you do pick up a weapon as you're going. So that's the lowdown on the perk system. Hopefully it makes sense in terms of the categories and everything. If not, post a question in the comments. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to know, and I'll see if I can answer it.